Previously on Married to the Game.
We always come back to Quebec because it's home before it's back to business in San Jose.
Joyous fête des pères.
Mark's deadly serious on the ice and super goofy at home.
Chris won the Stanley Cup like a week ago, so we had a crazy week. I look so tired right now.
Welcome back to Montreal. You're getting married. How are those plans going?
That's funny, we had a conversation about that this morning. It didn't go too well.
For him to go back to the best center where he played, it's probably an emotional thing. I get it.
Fucking ass is right out when you bend over.
I know.
But tonight it's about me. Tomorrow morning it's gonna be all about you again.
I'm so busy, do you wanna talk about what I got to do? I'm so busy, was
I've been living in Montreal for 10 years now, and it's my first outlet game. I'm so excited.
Ça va impressionner mon fils qu'il est là.
The CFL wanted to invite me to put it out there on my social media and live the full CFL game experience. I'm here with my friend Cindy, and it feels good to finally catch up with her.
I have lipstick all over my face.
And I don't tell you because I want to keep all those guys for me.
Fucking engage, you bitch.
We're so busy now that everything is done.
Wrapped the 20 episode from Macbeth for my talk show. And then we switched on to Cut F, filmed the 3rd season, and then switched to The Voice. And then I'm going to New York, film that new show.
I'm kind of in the eye of the storm right now. I've been really busy lately, and on the other hand, hockey season is right around the corner, and Brandon still doesn't have a contract. He's putting all his effort into the PTO with the Leafs. A professional tryout is not a contract yet, but you can prove yourself and then eventually get signed. He has survived a couple cuts. It's a pretty positive sign. We all have our fingers crossed that it's gonna work, because right now it's kind of his only option.
Brendan would love to be here with us, no?
I know it's always hard on a relationship.
Of course.
When like my career is doing this and his is like, I don't want to say this, but it's been a rough year because of his injury.
Brendan got an ankle injury last year because there was so much scar tissue. He got an ankle surgery and got it fixed.
I flew to London for 24 hours just to be with him.
I know, you always, yeah.
He's such a fighter.
I know.
He's been eating like super healthy. He went like harder in the gym, hasn't had a drink all summer.
He's the best shape he's never been.
He's working out twice a day and skating every day.
Right now, the main focus is not on me. My things are going well. I'm fine. Like, I'm there for him, and that's my main priority.
So the first couple of games of the season, he's gonna play with them. That's when he's gonna be able to showcase that he still has it.
And they're gonna see his shape.
Yeah.
Ah, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Such good news.
He's showing his work ethic and how badly he wants it, but at the same time, he's got to fight with guys starting at 18 years old.
I know he still has it inside of him. Like, I know he still has great hockey. That's like the opportunity that he needed. And it's just amazing that Toronto is offering him.
Toronto would be the ideal situation for both of us right now, especially for me wanting to break into the English market. And Toronto, Montreal is like a 45-minute flight, so it would be like heaven. Because I don't want to be in a long-distance relationship for the rest of my life.
Hey now, baby, come on. You see the glow. Hey now, baby, hang on. I wanna show.
Oh my God, the dogs!
They want to come.
Oh, you guys ready?
Take care of your mom.
Today, John leaves for Russia. The Russian hockey season begins at the end of August, which is earlier than the NHL season.
Oh.
All right. I'm just hanging out with the baby. Kind of want to come back.
I'm Emily Blum. My husband is Jonathan Blum. He plays for Vladivostok Admiral in the KHL. John spent 4 seasons in the NHL and AHL prior to going to Russia. John played for the Nashville Predators and the Minnesota Wild. He's currently on a 2-year contract worth approximately $850 US per year. Just being on the same team for a whole season and not having that fear of being up and down, it's been great having that stability. My first instinct when John started to talk to me about Russia was absolutely not, no way.
Gotta go where the money is.
No, but it's not all about money. I couldn't even imagine going over to a country that I don't know the language and trying to make a life there. I served in the military, and my entire identity was based around being an American. But now I really like it there, and I've made friends. I've even changed one of my social media statuses to like Orange County / Vladivostok, Russia, which is a big thing for me. Because I'm pregnant and it's our first baby, it just was more comforting to us to have the baby in the United States. We definitely plan to reunite as a family and spend hockey seasons in the future together. Like, I just don't want to think about it yet.
Yeah.
It's not real yet. It's not real yet. It's not real yet.
It's real when I get out of the car.
Yeah. There's definitely a sense of dread when John has to leave. Our time together is just so short. But John playing in Russia has really rejuvenated his love for hockey again, and he's really thrived and became a different person there. It's really cool to see how he's been so successful.
Yeah, everything should be good to go, bud.
Should be. Mike is taking us to the airport. I didn't think that emotionally it'd be good for me to be driving. I wanted to spend as much time as I could with John. Just sad.
Don't even know I'm gone.
Yes, I will. It's so lonely. Saying goodbye to John this time is really hard because I know that he's missing out on such an important time in our lives. But when we found out that I was pregnant, it just made the most sense to stay in California instead of moving to Russia for the season.
It's got plenty of resources here. Just use them.
I know. It's hard asking for help. I don't want to be like a nag or...
Yeah, baby.
I don't want to be too dependent on others. And I know that bothers John a lot because he knows I need the help, and I don't want to ask. I hate asking people for help.
It's only 2 months.
You know.
It'll fly by.
The plan is to visit John around his hockey schedule, but the next few months I'll be all by myself. Once I get through the next doctor's appointment, I think it'll be better. It's just the next one's like the scary doctor's appointment, where if there's something wrong with the baby, they know. I have a big ultrasound coming up. This is the ultrasound where they look at all the baby's organs and make sure that he's developing correctly, and knowing that the baby is healthy will give me the green light to be able to visit Russia. It's really scary knowing that this could be the last time I see John before the baby's born.
It's time, babies.
It still hasn't hit me. It really hasn't. It's crazy. I have to stay strong for John and not cry too much or not get too sad about him leaving, because I don't want him to have to worry about anything besides hockey, and I don't want him to worry about me at all.
Cannot wait to just do nothing.
This summer is crazy, to say the least. We went all the way to June, to the Stanley Cup Finals, and then it's the World Cup. But first, we organize a big gala. It's for portrayal. Portrayal is kind of like the YMCA in Quebec. The gala raises money for low-income families so their children can attend summer camp.
Still have a lot to do for the patrol today.
I think everything is set.
It's a lot of work.
Our name is attached to it, so we feel the pressure, but it's a fun night.
Ton implication, Martine, concernant cet événement-là? Du début jusqu'à la fin. Ah oui?
If you're gonna tell people, I believe in this project, well, you actually have to believe it and be involved and be there. I'm not used to paying people to do things for me. I know we could, but that's just not us.
L'idée est partie d'un souper de famille chez nous, parce que ma marraine, c'est la directrice générale.
My godmother came over for dinner and told me the city was gonna cut the funds. And I just felt that's not okay. Like, somehow we need to find a way to fix that.
J'allais au patro quand j'étais jeune. Ouais. Puis j'allais au camp. J'ai commencé vraiment jeune. Eh ben, c'est partie intégrante de ta vie.
Mark grew up in the suburbs of Montreal, and I grew up in Quebec City in probably the worst neighborhood in town. We didn't have a lot of money, but we always had food on the table.
C'est sûr que les choses sont différentes maintenant. En tout cas, dans ma vie.
I met Mark when he played juniors back home. He was 17, I was 19. Never been apart since then.
J'habite plus au centre-ville, puis j'ai une vie un petit peu plus privilégiée, qu'on peut dire.
Mark, he went from $35 a week to making so much money, and this life happened so fast for us that we didn't see it coming. Even like our first apartment in San Jose, we didn't have furniture for the longest time. We just slept on an inflatable mattress because we felt like this isn't real, like they're gonna send us back pretty soon.
Peu importe comment mes maisons sont grandes maintenant, ma maison préférée, ce sera toujours celle au centre-ville. Elle était toute petite. Ouais. Elle avait les planchers croches. C'est vraiment des beaux souvenirs. Les choses sont différentes, mais le cœur est resté le même. Oh oui.
It would be easy to just go home after practice and not care about the outside world, and it's easy to get caught up because like you get a lot of attention and everyone loves you. But we feel strongly about giving back because money, status, career doesn't define you. It's who you are and how you treat people, and I'm just very proud of how Mark and I stayed grounded.
Well, hello.
Hello.
I can kiss you. I have lipstick on. Your suit? I hope it's here.
Non, il est pas là.
Are you kidding? I told you to get ready before.
Il est pas dans mon garde-robe.
You don't have any pants you can wear?
I thought I had.
His closet is the size of my hand. He loses things all the time.
Vraiment une affaire de gars, ça, pour essayer son linge avant. Une demi-heure avant qu'il faut qu'on s'en aille pour dire.
Typical Mark. He's a man-child and I have to do everything for him, but I thought he could find his own suit.
Check in the other closet.
Si elle est là, t'es dans ma.
I'm real scared of you.
What are you gonna do?
Well done, bud. Nice pants.
Thanks.
So when you go on stage, do you know what you're gonna say?
Yep.
Can I hear it?
No, I have no idea. I'm just gonna improvise.
That's not a good idea, and you know it.
Tonight, he decides he can wing it. We'll see, because usually I will write him a speech. If he's doing an interview, he likes if I'm behind the camera so I can like whisper things or like give him signs and stuff.
Okay, think about what you're gonna say, because you're gonna tell me the whole thing in the car.
You could say unofficial manager. That's why I want to make sure that the night is a success.
He's just using me as his puncher bag. He's taking the stress and the anxiety out of me.
You know that term, tête de mille?
Oh, yeah.
What is it in English?
Stubborn. Brennan is the most stubborn person I've ever met in my whole fucking life.
Are you sad, Mace?
Don't be sad.
In the off-season, we live in Makeup, Quebec. We're getting ready to move to St. Louis for the season.
It's gonna be a place I'll miss for sure, but time to do some business.
I'm Vanessa Vendel. I'm David Perron's girlfriend, who is the winger for the St. Louis Blues, and he's been playing now for 10 years. I'm also the mother of our son, Mason, and I'm studying interior design. Me and David has been together for 4 years now. David was a first-round pick for the St. Louis Blues. He got traded to Edmonton, then Pittsburgh, then Anaheim, and now we're back in St. Louis. He has 2 years contract with the St. Louis Blues. We met back home in Sherbrooke when it was the lockout year. Our first date, we ended up until like 4 in the morning talking in the parking lot. And 6 months later, I was in St. Louis with him.
What are you doing?
I'm really hoping now that it's a 2 years contract that we're gonna stay there, give Mason some stability, he really needs it. David and Chris played together in Pittsburgh. We were always the 4 of us together. We were comfortable like right off the start.
You really missed on your career, eh, Chris? You should be an artist or something.
Vanessa and I think we're really similar. We're both from Montreal and we both have little kids. We became close super right away.
Are you skating tomorrow? I'll see with the packing. I want to come, but I want to get everything done and leave this weekend.
And what about the house over there? Did you see it?
I saw pictures. I don't want to say anything. Until I'm gonna see it.
I didn't really pick out the house picked us. We saw the picture. It was really nice. I'm hoping it's gonna be as good as I think.
I see it as an adventure.
Yeah, of course.
It's just for a certain amount of years. So it's good. I'm traveling.
Yeah, it's new friends and new cities every time, so that's fun.
I don't think Catherine knows about the reality of moving. She doesn't know what it is to like put pressure on the guy to get traded. To deal with all those things is really, really intense. You also get used to moving.
I'm not used to that.
No.
Chris is having a really stable career. He's been playing in Pittsburgh since day one. We're really lucky, to be honest, and especially when you have kids. I think it's way easier when you're in one place.
So 1 year in St. Louis, I buy the meal. When I'm in Pittsburgh, you buy?
No, I cook for so many years for you.
3-4 times a week until I got traded.
We started the season in Pittsburgh, and then he got traded to Anaheim, and then after he left, Pittsburgh won the Stanley Cup. I felt bad for him because I knew he dreamed about the Stanley Cup like his whole life.
It was a short summer for you, though. Stanley Cup champion and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm sure David's probably like a little bit emotional about the Stanley Cup when he sees Chris.
It's gonna be nice to go back to St. Louis. I think he's a really good coach and he's passionate and he's tough on the guys, but that's something we expect and
brings out the best of you.
The good thing is that he knows you and he wanted to sign you back, so I guess like he knows what to expect. Right? They know him, they know his good side and his bad sides, but at the same time, David is older. He has more pressure on him and has to prove himself. I'm really nervous right now because to be traded again, that's something I don't want.
It's the night of our gala. We are at the Quebec cruise ship terminal. We are expecting around 280 guests.
Great job.
We have 10 hockey players from Quebec City showing up tonight. It means the world to us that they take a full night out to come to our event. I think it just shows that we are respected as a couple in the NHL, and it's nice to just have that little bit of importance where we can bring awareness to what we believe in.
Bienvenue à la deuxième édition de la soirée des étoiles et je m'attends à un public en feu ce soir.
Everyone gets to mingle and meet the hockey players, and then we sit down for dinner. It's a 5-course dinner by an amazing chef in town.
Congratulations on the draft. Well done, man.
I grew up a hockey fan, and I know what it's like when you see like your favorite hockey player and he takes a minute to sign an autograph. Every time I see a Vlasic jersey, I make sure he signs it. I just want him to be recognized as a really nice guy, someone who's very humble and close to the fans.
Gros merci d'être ici ce soir avec nous autres. Et ici à Québec, on a vraiment des gens généreux. Ma femme aussi qui a travaillé très très fort sur l'événement cette année vu que j'étais en Syrie. Merci Martine.
I think he did a good job with his speech. It's very nice for Mark to acknowledge the work I've put in. It means a lot.
Je suis très très heureux de vous annoncer qu'on a amassé plus de 55 000
I don't do it to be acknowledged, I do it from my heart, and for me, I'm just so happy we get to raise a lot of money. It's nice to do good in the world.
Did you hear the story that I literally asked to do the cover? Wait. I didn't ask them. I told them. To be on the cover of an important magazine makes a real statement.
Es-tu prêt pour la Coupe du Monde?
Ouais, je suis prêt.
Ouais.
I don't even want to think about Canada not winning the World Cup because if it doesn't go well, you've let down a whole country.
So you had 5 flights. You must be so exhausted.
No.
You're not?
No,
Wow.
I don't.
You
Maybe
will be.
I'm excited. That's why I don't
It'll
feel
hit
it.
you. Juliana is my first visitor since John's left for Russia. She flew from Vladivostok last hockey season. Juliana and I became really good friends. It's John. Oh. Hi. Hey. I know, you've seen Juliana more recently than you've seen me. I wish you were here. Hang out with us. Yeah. Having Juliana visit and talking about being in Russia with John definitely makes me miss him a lot more.
John is in Russia, so you don't have like 24-hour support, like real support. I cannot imagine it.
Well, I think that the big thing for my pregnancy has been looking forward to this trip to Russia. I know we made the decision for me to stay in California, but now experiencing some of the cool firsts, feeling the baby's kicking and not being so nauseous, and it's hard for me not to regret being apart. My doctor was basically like, this is the drop-dead last possible time that you can go, but it was the only time that worked with his schedule because they're on the road so often.
they will be there.
Getting to Russia is no simple task. I'm flying from Los Angeles to Tokyo. I have an overnight layover in Tokyo alone. If I went into labor in Japan, I have no idea what would happen. From the time I leave Los Angeles, it'll take me over 40 hours before I actually get to Russia. So many people told me, you're crazy for wanting to fly halfway across the world that late in the pregnancy, but I feel like my stomach isn't that big, so I won't be that uncomfortable. I definitely don't care about the travel. It's more important for me to get there and to spend time with him and for him to feel like he's connected with the pregnancy, because the last thing I would want is for him to not feel emotionally invested in the pregnancy and in his son. The biggest thing that I worry about is something happens and my water breaks. I would have to be stuck in Russia. There's always that fear in my mind of, am I making the right decision for the baby to go to Russia, or is it selfish for me to want to see my husband, so late in the pregnancy? I know that it's really important for me emotionally, and I need to see him, yeah. Hopefully it all works out.
All right, we got a couple minutes.
Yeah.
3-4 minutes, so. Did they say if you were gonna be on?
I don't want to.
We're going to the local radio station. It's the World Cup coming up, and they really want to talk about it. To be named Team Canada, you're the elite of the best country. I cried for about 2 minutes, and then I just started getting anxious about, now he's named. Pressure's on.
On a de la maudite belle visite en studio. Martine Auclair-Vlasic et Marc-Édouard Vlasic des Sharks de San Jose qui sont avec nous. Ça donne bien, on a un des meilleurs défenseurs de la Ligue nationale.
Merci.
Prêt pour la Coupe du Monde?
Ouais, je suis prêt.
Ouais.
A game day when Mark plays for Canada, he's always calm and collected. Me, on the other hand, it's a little bit tougher. I wake up with a stomach ache, and I will take a little nap when he's napping because the emotional stress just gets me so tired.
Ça vous dérange pas pour votre préparation du début de saison dans la Ligue nationale?
Déjà un positif, tu joues pour le Canada. Excuse-moi, en même temps, tu manques le training camp. C'est toujours un bonus, ça, manquer le camp d'entraînement.
I'm just the big hockey fan, so I always give him the worst or best speech. I don't know which one. They're very intense, and I always tell him, look at the jersey you're wearing. It's Canada. Don't mess up.
C'est un positif, la Coupe du Monde, tu joues pour ton pays.
I don't even want to think about Canada not winning the World Cup, because if it doesn't go well, you've let down a whole country. Literally, the whole country.
Did you hear the story that I literally asked to do the cover?
Ask or Well, she was semi-joking.
No, wait. I didn't ask them. I told them. Today I'm doing a very high fashion photo shoot for the Canadian magazine Dress to Kill. I was like, I should be your cover girl. I don't know how many martinis I drank, but I was like, and then the morning after I was like, oh my God, did I really say that? Sometimes you say things out loud and you put bugs in people's mind, and then sure enough, a couple weeks later, we got a phone call from the magazine. Dress to Kill. I could compare it to Vogue in the US. I've done a lot in Quebec, but this is the first time I'm in a Canadian fashion magazine. I'm a little nervous because it's kind of a challenge for me to own these very sexy clothes and to do these suggestive poses. I know it's gonna turn out great. To be on the cover of an important magazine like Dress to Kill makes a real statement. Especially for me wanting the work in Toronto. So I'm really keeping my fingers crossed and hoping that Brenna gets picked up by Elise. I don't know if Brennan's still sleeping.
What's going on with him?
As the time goes by, I think that Brennan is getting a lot more tense. I went to Toronto.
Yep.
Last weekend.
So he's still...
He's still there. He's
Right.
still practicing.
Okay.
But it's just like he didn't treat me nicely. Brennan is a very generous person and kind-hearted, and he always takes care of everybody. But with me sometimes, he's got no patience and will treat me like a piece of shit if he feels like it. Instead of like just saying, baby, I'm sorry. I know you traveled all weekend long to come and be with me. The way that I talked to wasn't nice. I'm sorry. Just that, I'd be like, thank you. There's a reason why he's moody. It's because he doesn't know what's going on with his career. I totally understand where he comes from. But on the other side, a part of me is mad because I don't feel like I deserve to be treated like this. But it's just like, I know he's not gonna apologize. I have an hour before my flight. I do not want to start fighting. So I just bolted. At this point, I think that if he does get cut, his mood won't be too great. But I think the unknown is worse.
I love your battle face.
Mark was pretty upset.
What's not cool is he high-sticked me and he didn't
I'm
call
sure he
it.
didn't do it on purpose. He's a classy guy.
I'm gonna check and see how the baby is positioned. It's every mother's worst fear to find out in an ultrasound that something's wrong with your baby.
The movers are gonna come on Sunday.
Yeah, they'll be there Sunday. Someone will let them in the house.
Usually I take care of the movers, but this time it's David. He planned everything, so I'm just hoping they're gonna be there on time, everything's gonna be fine, because with Mason, it can turn really complex if I'm with him and nothing works.
Mason has been moving so much for his first year. We were not moving, and then like Mason came and we were moving all the time.
David's playing hockey right away. I have my online interior design class. I'm kind of worried of how is it gonna be.
Oui. Ça fait longtemps qu'on s'est pas vu.
Tanya and I are really close friends. We've known each other for many years now, and we relate a lot because we both have little children.
Mason, je trouve ça un peu intense avec lui, tout le déménagement, tout le changement, tout le temps, tu sais, on dirait.
They say the younger they are, the easier it is. So I know it's gonna be harder this season because he's 1.5 now.
Je vois déjà un genre de panique quand Dave sort de la maison. Tu dirais, il crée vraiment des liens forts.
Sometimes I'm a little bit hard on David because I know he's tired and I know he would want to just relax. I'm like, you have to play with Mason. You have to make these moments really important because he's gonna have many memories with me, but he won't have that many with you. So, like, take every hours with him and like enjoy it as much as you can.
Ça va être quand on va être là-bas et qu'il le verra presque plus, mais tu sais.
I think it's really like something that I'm like a little bit scared. At some point, he's gonna realize more that David doesn't spend that much time with us. I can't be two parents all the time. I can't do David's job.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Tu veux ton lait? Oh!
John's been gone a month and a half, and today's a really big day. It's the last major ultrasound before the baby's born. This appointment is very important because depending on the baby's positioning, it might affect whether I can go to Russia or not.
So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna check and see how the baby is positioned.
I've heard that when the baby's ready to come out, they switch and their head is at the bottom, and I need to keep this baby in as long as possible.
Ready to bake a little longer.
There's so many things going through my head right now. I'm just really hoping he's in the right position, everything looks good, and yeah. It's every mother's worst fear to find out in an ultrasound that something's wrong with your baby. It's scary. Right now, I'm just so nervous. It'll be completely devastating if I find out that I can't go to Russia.
So the baby's head is still up.
Okay,
Yay.
good.
So perfect. Giving us a little thumbs up.
So glad. I'm glad that I don't have to worry anymore. It's such a huge sense of relief, and everything is good, and I can travel to Russia, and I can see my husband.
There is the baby.
Oh my
wow.
gosh, that is so cool.
You can see the little eyes, the nose, the lips.
This is
a
so
little
great.
smile. Look how cute he is.
Yeah, he's like opening his mouth a little bit. Oh my gosh. Do you mind if I FaceTime my husband just
Not
to
at
show
all.
him?
Go right
Can you
ahead.
grab my
Yeah,
phone from
absolutely.
my purse? It's really important for John to be able to see his baby. It's really important for the baby to hear John and to get a connection with his father before he's even born. Hi.
Hey.
Look, hold on.
John, I'm gonna show you your baby.
Look at his little face.
Thank you. Wow.
Isn't that so cool?
He's cute. You guys did good.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
The little arm, little fingers. And there's the feet. Oh my gosh, nice toes.
Oh.
It's the guy kicking you all the time.
Every time I watch your games, he kicks. I swear, he's already a hockey fan. Being able to see the baby together really makes me want to hop on a plane, go visit John. It feels so much more real seeing it like this.
Yeah.
This was the turning point. I'm actually having a baby. We made that kid.
I miss you.
Yeah.
Finally, I'm gonna owe it to myself to think of me and maybe nobody else. 'Cause I don't care for the ignorance of that, yeah. Make believe in people speaking like they're grieving trivia.
Tonight I'm going on the show Ça finit bien la semaine, which is the Quebec talk show on TVA. And I'm nervous because I just found out that Brennan hasn't been picked up by the Leafs. He's obviously taking it really hard. I wasn't with him when he got the news, but I immediately flew to be with him. I came back because I had to work. After all this hard work, we're kind of back at square one. I really wanted him to get the shot as redeeming himself, and I know how badly he wanted this. And I'm just heartbroken for him. It would have been great for both of us to be in Toronto this year. What now? Well, what now? That's a good question. I have no clue.
How was your trip?
On Thursday night, that's when we found out that the team kind of released them. But I made it to the last 26 players, but the team could only keep 23. Literally, like, he could touch it. Like, it was right there, and then last minute, they cut him. They picked up a guy from waivers, so he's like 24, young kid. Brennan is 32, and he's considered as a veteran now. I feel like teams are focusing on youth and trying to develop new talents. Now the thing is that the clock is ticking because if he stays when waived, he won't be able to go to Europe. The European season starts earlier. The trading deadline is coming, so if he wants to go to Europe, he has to make a decision fairly quickly. He's in like a shitty mood. It's just so...
Well, it's normal.
He's just using me as his punching bag. I feel like when you're in hard moments of your life, you always use the people that loves you the most as your punching bag. He's taking the stress and the anxiety out of me. That's the only thing I'm like, can't you see that I'm just like there for you and I'm trying to like support you through this like tough time of your life? It's hard to have an open up talk with Brennan because he keeps everything inside and there's no way of getting these emotions out of him. He's like an oyster.
You know, there's that term, tête de mule.
Oh, yeah.
What is it in English?
Stubborn. Brennan is the most stubborn person I've ever met my whole life. And I do not deserve the way he talks to me sometimes. Like, I know where it comes from, but I also do so much for him that it's kind of insulting when he does that. When I left, I didn't even say bye. I was just so annoyed with him. I haven't texted him yet. I need him to understand that I'm not happy with how things are.
These are the shoes you're wearing on the plane?
Yep, I gotta look good.
Why?
I'm a world champion.
Your shoes do not say world champion.
No, but my attitude does.
Where are you at?
An hour and a half away.
Mason and I just arrived in St. Louis by plane. David is on the road with the trailer, driving all our stuff from Quebec.
We're almost here, Mace. That's your street. You're gonna be walking here.
I'm kind of nervous to see the house now because, I mean, it's just picture and it can be really good or it can be really bad.
Ooh, look at that. All your stuff is here, Mace. Everything's, oh my God. Scratches all over it. Seriously? It's all broken. Oh my God.
The movers did the worst job I've ever seen. It's incredible.
Gross.
There's nothing done. Boxes everywhere. Everything is in a really bad shape. It's a mess.
Even the mattresses are dirty. And our bed is broken and we're gonna have to buy a new one. I don't know where to start.
I'm pissed because it's gonna take me 2 to 3 weeks to unpack everything. That's one of the downsides of hockey. When you're all by yourself and you have to deal with this whole thing, like you don't even know like where to start. You're just in panic and you're alone.
Oh, Mama. Mama. Oh, it's okay.
I want to make sure everything is all right for Mason. He's exhausted. He's been traveling. He hasn't eaten really well. He misses his dad, so I want to get settled as soon as possible. David?
Hey.
Hello. Mason, are you coming to see Daddy? Are you gonna empty the trailer or what?
I think most of the stuff we'll do tomorrow because kind of tired. I could sleep on the floor right now, to be honest.
So David just arrived. He's been driving for 21 hours. He's exhausted.
I'll go skate with the guys tomorrow and then, yeah.
Already?
Yeah, first.
I didn't expect that he would be here and then start the next day, obviously, because we were moving. I thought he would think about it a little bit. I'm really gonna be alone doing this whole thing. Honestly, I'm lost.
Did you sleep?
Probably for an hour or something.
The morning of champions. We are world champions. The boys won.
Where does that rank in historical experiences for you, Mark?
Right behind the Olympics, but right up there in my career, for sure. We really wanted to win, even if it was just a tournament put together. Once you put on a Canadian jersey, pride kicks in and you want to win for your country.
We partied till very late. We slept little, and now we have to get to the airport. I literally feel like I'm dying. I'm so exhausted. I was so mad during the game because they were losing 1-0. Brad Marchand did it with 43 seconds left. I jumped so high, and then I fell apart. I started shaking, I was crying, and Mark came out and he just hugged me so hard. And he said, "It's over, Beb, we won." Like, he knew, like, how much it meant to me. Like, he's like, "You can relax now. Like, we did it. We won. We're good." Did you finally look at your phone? Did you see my text? It pretty much says, if you don't win, I'm gonna divorce you.
Oh my God. You guys better get your bleep together. I'm embarrassed.
I'm just kidding. I would not divorce him. We're really in this hockey life together. I'm very proud of his success, and I want him to do well. He's not used to failure, so I need him to be successful because he doesn't know how to deal with not winning something.
I love your battle face,
Yeah, it's a little high stick.
but it's from Hossa, so.
Marian Hossa is an amazing hockey player and very respected. This guy's had an amazing career.
It's cooler coming from him than any other guy.
No, what's not cool is he high sticked me and he didn't
I'm sure
call
he
it.
didn't do it on purpose. He's a classy guy.
Mark was pretty upset it wasn't called, but it gave him like a little sexy look, a black eye. Like he looked a little tough, you know?
I lifted the World Cup.
You did.
They didn't give it to me.
Actually, it's the first trophy you've ever lifted.
Yeah,
It's
well-
when you won like gold medals and like
Yeah.
whatever, it's around your neck.
At first, some of the guys were like, I don't know, because I don't know if it's superstition or something, you don't lift it. But I'm like, In 4 years,
don't
maybe I
lift
won't be
it.
able to lift the World Cup, so I'm like, I'll lift it. I didn't want to carry it too long or not long enough.
That was
you
good.
know?
I think you did good.
A reasonable amount.
Is that all you were thinking when you were lifting it? Not too long.
No. At first, I was like, this is weird because it's not the Stanley Cup, but
Well, you will lift the Stanley Cup,
Yes.
but
it was pretty heavy.
That's in 8 months. It's
pretty heavy.
It's been a great summer, but now it's really time to switch gears and just be in Sharks mode if they want to win the Stanley Cup.
What other shoes you're wearing on the plane?
Yep, I gotta look good.
Why?
I'm a world champion.
Your shoes do not say world champion.
No, but my attitude does.
Mark is missing the Stanley Cup out of his collection, the most important one.
Driver to the airport.
We are hungrier to win just to make sure he's done it all. I hope this is the season. I really do. I hope so.
Bye, Toronto. Been nice.
The half hour, I'm gonna be there. Like, I'm not gonna think about anything else until they bring up a question about Brendan.
I can't let my emotions take over. I really hope that we're gonna be able to survive this.
You run your mouth like water. You always get so caught up. But it's like I don't hear you. I shake you off like water.
Season starts, and we're going to New York. So I'm gonna be another almost month before I see him. I'm leaving for New York quite soon because I'm filming this new travel show in French.
Is he gonna come to New York and see us?
Well, I think we're gonna have a little moment of adjustment. I'm always the one traveling back and forth and supporting him through like the recovery of his injury, free agency, then the PTO, but I doubt he's gonna want to come to New York.
What would you like?
I want him to be happy.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I feel like I'm always emotionally exhausted. But the best way I found to kind of like take my mind away from what's going on between us is just to focus on my work. And that's kind of my safe haven.
I like doing things like this. It's taking my mind away. Like for the half hour, I'm gonna be there. Like, I'm not gonna think about anything else until they bring up a question about Brendan.
Obviously, there's everything with Brendan's career that is going on, and I know for a fact that they're gonna drill me on that. So I need to be strong and keep my head up and not let my emotions take over.
Je veux te parler de ton chum. Parce qu'en ce moment, toi, ça va vraiment très, très bien. Ton chum, c'est plus difficile en ce moment. Là, son avenir d'hockeyeur est du moins certain. Toi, tu es en pente ascendante, puis lui, c'est une pente qui est différente. Comment tu gères ça, ce déséquilibre en ce moment?
It's so tricky. I hate questions about Brendan right now, and I do not feel like talking about this.
Moi, j'essaye d'être là pour lui. Pour vrai, là, ma seule mission en ce moment, c'est d'être présente psychologiquement pour mon chum.
Parce que dès que je t'en ai parlé, je t'ai senti les petits yeux là, venir mouiller.
Oui, mais je viens tout le temps. Ben, c'est parce que, tu sais, c'est des émotions intenses qu'on vit, là.
Usually I love talking about him, but right now it's just so, like I'm walking on eggshells. I don't want to see too much. I don't want to see things that I could regret. It's just, it's not easy.
J'ai tout fait pour que ça fonctionne, dans le sens où, quand la saison est commencée, lui, il peut plus bouger. Fait que la raison pour laquelle ça fait 6 ans qu'on est ensemble, j'ai le goût de dire que c'est grâce à moi, parce que si moi, je n'avais pas pris l'avion à chaque fin de semaine pour aller le rejoindre, ça serait fini.
I'm really hoping that we're going to be able to survive this. But I feel both Brendan and I have to focus on ourselves separately.
Next time on Married to the Game.
We make a baby December 24th. I think it's important for the legacy to live on. I would love for one day to see my son play in the NHL or something, but we need to have a son first.
When your husband is going through a hard time, it affects you as a family.
What's the follow-up for your...
There's no follow-up.
Chris always wants to leave the hockey thing at the door.
My life as a single parent is very tough.
Just barely keeping my head above water. I feel like I'm drowning.
Sometimes I literally just need a hug and someone to tell me that it's gonna be okay.
He's not answering. I'm about to fucking snap.
Put your fucking big boy pants on, please.